Greetings, everyone. This is Raphael Spot Connection with another installment of Building the Team. And no, you weren't seeing things. That was indeed a pro wrestler in the thumbnail. So, first off, this past week's game, that was one figure from each rarity, and one of the Thunderbolts. And let's just say things could have gone better. They could have gone worse, but they could have gone better. Alright, so this week's build, 500 points, mixed universe, must include at least 2 figures from each universe. Well, must include 2 figures per universe. So, like, for example, a team with 2 Marvel figures, 2 DC figures, 2 DC figures, 2 Star Trek figures, 2 wrestling figures, 2 Ninja Turtles, so on and so forth. Anyway, moving on to our first team, which is an Atlantis team. We'll start off with Dolphin. Dolphin comes in at 30 points, has the Atlantis and Forgotten Heroes keywords. She's got a trait, Triggered Mutation. You can give her a free action, and turn her dial to the same click number of a different color. As you can see, she has basically 2 dials. And, speaking of those dials, so we'll start off with the initial dial first. On that one, we've got a few clicks of sidestep. On speed, a few clicks of incapacitate on attack, a few clicks of super senses on defense, a click of shape change followed by a couple clicks of empower on damage. On the other dial, we start off on speed with a special power on the run from authorities. Transfer charge and plasticity. When she uses charge, if she occupies water terrain, she does not have her speed. Okay. See how she's running a 10 on her first click like that. Yeah, she better hope she's occupying water terrain if you're running her. Then on attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Blades, Claws, Fangs, followed by a click of Precision Strike. Defense, we open up with a click of Vulnerability, followed by a couple clicks of Toughness. And then on damage, we've got Battle Fury, which is even better because you don't have to worry about shape change then. Downside, she can't be carried, but this is exactly a carrying kind of team. So next up, though, we've got Aqualad. Aqualad here comes in at 50 points, has the Titans team ability as well as the Atlantis and Teen Titans team keywords. He also has 2 traits. First off is Titans Reborn, which actually it could matter some. When Aqualad is given a move action after resolutions, he can use the Titans team ability at no cost. Next up is Working on My Electrokinesis. Energy Explosion with 6 range and 3 targets, but only once per game. Okay. Now, looking at the dial, we got a few clicks of charge followed by a few clicks of flurry. On attack, we open up with a click of telekinesis, but while the rest of the dial is Blades, Claws, Fangs. And then on damage, you open up with a click of energy shield deflection, and while the rest of the dial is combat reflexes. And then we have nothing on damage. Not too shabby. Not too great, but not too shabby. Next up, we got Morita. Morita comes in at 60 points. She's got the Atlantis, Defenders, New Warriors, and Celebrity keywords. We also have the trait Octopoid Camouflage. Morita can use Stealth. She can use Shape Change if she's adjacent to a wall or square of blocking terrain. Okay. Looking at the dial, we open up some sidestep, which gives way to charge. That's speed. On attack, we open up with the special attack power Acidic Touch. When Namor hits an adjacent opposing character that can use Impervious, Invincible, or Invulnerability, this turn that character can't use that power, but can use Toughness instead. This thing gives way to Super Strength. Then on damage or defense, we open with Toughness, which clicks into Combat Reflexes. And then on damage, she starts off with nothing, but that gives way to Close Combat Expert. Excuse me. Next up, we've got Tempest. Tempest comes in at 75 points, has the Titan's team ability. So the Titan's Singular trait can work, or Titan's Reborn trait can work with it. In fact, he has it as well. But he has the Titan's team ability as well as the Atlantis, Teen Titans, and Mystical keywords, and 2 traits. First off is Water Wizard. Freeze it or boil it. Smoke Cloud is free, but Tempest only generates water markers instead of hindering markers. As a free action, choose an opposing character occupying water terrain within range and roll a d6. On a 3 or 4, give that character an action token. On a 5 or a 6, give that character 1 penetrating damage. Okay. Then we got I mentioned he has the Titan's Reborn trait, same as Aqualad. Looking at his dial, we open up a couple clicks of charge, followed by a couple clicks of leap climb, and that follows by a couple clicks of sidestep, or force blast, I mean. On attack, we open up with a couple clicks of super strength, and that's it, really. On defense, we open up with a couple clicks of toughness, followed by a couple clicks of super senses, followed by a couple clicks of regeneration. Not too shabby. Finally, on damage, we open up with a click of perplex, followed by a few clicks of empower, and rounding things out with a couple clicks of leadership. That's always nice to see. Some late dial leadership. Next up, we've got Namor, the Submariner, King of the Seven Seas in Marvel Comics. Namor comes in at 110 points, has the anti-registration, Atlantis, Defenders, Illuminati, and Ruler keywords. He also has the trait King of Atlantis. Other friendly characters with the Atlantis keyword modify their attack value by +1. Namor can use leadership. Okay. Looking at his dial, we open up some sidestep, which gives way to charge. On attack, we open up with the special power Imperious Rex. Give Namor a power action to place adjacent an Atlantean Warrior bystander, or give Namor a double power action to place adjacent 2 Atlantean Warrior bystanders. You may not use this power if there are more than 4 Atlantean Warrior bystanders on your force. That thing gives way to super strength. Then on defense, first off, he's got Indomitable, always a plus. Starts off with invulnerability, which gives way to toughness, which then gives way to regeneration. And on damage, we open up with Close Combat Expert, which gives way to Empower. As for the Atlantean Warrior bystanders, they've got Charge, Combat Reflexes, and Close Combat Expert. And they have a trait, Atlantean Warrior has the Atlantis keyword, and move actions don't count against your action total. Okay, alright. Next up, and last for the team, you've got Aquaman. Aquaman comes in at 172 points, has the Atlantis, Justice League, and Ruler keywords, as well as improved movement, improved targeting, ignores hindering terrain. He's also an aquatic transporter, so he can use the carry ability. So yeah, there's some potential for carrying on this team. Looking at his dial, Aquaman starts off with running shot on speed, which gives way to sidestep, which then gives way to charge. On attack, we open up with special power Trident of Neptune, Relic of Atlantis. At the beginning of your turn, choose 1 to last until you choose again. Aquaman can use Enhancement and Leadership, or Aquaman can use Energy Explosion, or Aquaman can use Penetrating Psychic Blast. This thing gives way to Blaze Claw's Fangs. On defense, like Namor, he is also Indomitable. It starts off with Invulnerability, then Toughness, and then Super Senses. And on damage, we open up with a special power, Subtle Telepathic Push. Once per turn, Aquaman can use either Outwit or Perplex. When he does, he may target characters with the Dolphin or Dolphin transporter symbol anywhere on the map. This then eventually gives way to Close Combat Expert. And that's our Atlantis team. Alright, so next up we've got an Authority team. Now, first and foremost, earlier this year, or late last year, how do you want to look at it, WizKids began making WWE HeroClix figures. While they generally follow, and they are completely compatible with regular HeroClix, obviously. However, there are some special rules, which we will get into here in a second. So, now a funny thing is that they didn't change the wording for the keyword authority, so you've now got the wrestling authority in wrestling and authority in DC HeroClix. So it's neither of them is the authority; they're just authority. So it works. So first off, we've got Triple H from I want to say the Rock and Sock Connection pack, and yeah, I love the fact they've got him doing the water spit. So Triple H here comes in at 70 points. He has a WWE team ability, as well as Authority, or the Authority, Corporate Ministry, Corporation, Degeneration X, Evolution, WWE, Assassin, and Politician keywords. As for what the WWE team ability does, it grants the abilities Bounce, Pin, Grand Entrance, and WWE Rules. So, Bounce. This character treats hindering terrain and blocking terrain as ropes. You can bounce enemies off them and fully use the power Flying Leap if adjacent to 2 or more of them. Pin. As a free action, choose an adjacent opposing character that's on a blue click number, and that this character hit with their signature move this turn. You both roll a d6, and if your result is higher, deal that character 1 penetrating damage and repeat this process. If your opponent rolls a 6, kick out, that character heals 1 click. Next up, we got Grand Entrance. During your first turn, if this character is in your starting area, they have free action, move. And WWE Rules. This character can be the target of range attacks or outwit if they're on click number 1, they're on a click with a blue click number, or they've already been targeted by a range attack this turn, and they are protected from Pulse Wave. Not too shabby. So, looking at Triple H, he's got a trait, signature move, Spine Buster. It's close combat it's close action. If Triple H has 1 action token, make a close attack, modifying attack and damage +1 for each action token on the target. Okay, alright. Then looking at his dial, we open up with a special speed power, Grandest Entrance of them all. Charge. The first opposing character to attack each turn modifies attack -1. Not bad. This then gives way to a few clicks of regular charge. On attack, he starts off with nothing, but that gives way to the WWE power Slam. Slam keys off as a close action. Make a close attack. After resolutions, choose one. Give a hit character an action token, or place a hit character in a square adjacent to this character. Okay. It's kind of like Incapacitate Light. And after a couple clicks of Slam, he clicks into the power Submission Hold. As a free action, if this character hasn't moved or been placed this turn, deal 1 damage target adjacent opposing character. Both characters gain immobile until your next turn. Okay. He's got a Dominable, so built-in willpower, same as normal. On defense, though, he's got a couple clicks of toughness and then a good chunk of combat reflexes. Damage, we open up with some leadership, followed by a couple clicks of wit, followed by a few clicks of perplex. Yeah, normally this is something I wouldn't do, but I kind of screwed up and didn't buy Big Show as well, so nor did I get Kane. So we're running the other Triple H as well. This Triple H comes in at 85 points. He's got the Authority, Corporate Ministry, Corporation, Degeneration X, Evolution, WWE, Assassin, and Politician keywords. He has the trait signature move, Pedigree. As a close action, if Triple H has one action token, make a close attack, modifying damage +1. After resolutions, choose one. A hit target modifies attack and defense -1 until your next turn, or give a hit target an action token. Okay. Looking at his dial, we've got a couple clicks of charge, followed by a couple clicks of the WWE power, Slingshot. Slingshot generates knockback, but you may choose a direction and can knock back characters that can use charge or combat reflexes. As a free action, you can make a close attack targeting an adjacent character that this character knocked back this turn. So if you were to say knock someone into what is denoted as ropes, and then they bounce, well, as they bounce back, bam. It's kind of like we see, you know, in wrestling where someone is thrown into the ropes, they bounce off the ropes, and then the guy who threw them there just, clotheslines them. All right, so that then gives way to a few clicks of Flurry. Then on attack, we open up with a couple clicks of Stun, which is also a WWE only power. When this character hits one or more characters, the hit character modifies attack and damage -1 through your next turn. Okay. Then we get a few clicks of Slam. Defense, he's indomitable, but he's got a full run of toughness. On damage, he opens up with a special power, Numbers Game, which grants him Empower, and friendly characters that are adjacent or share a keyword with him besides WWE can use Empower. Not too shabby. And that gives way after a... He's got a decently long chunk of that, and then a few clicks of Outwit to round things out. Alright, next up we've got Swift. Swift comes in at 90 points and has the Authority and Pilot keywords. She also has the trait Reading the Air Currents. When an opposing character with Flight or the Flying Transporter symbol uses the carry ability or hits with an attack, place an air token on this card. Give Swift a free action, remove an air token, and give Swift a move action as a free action. That will probably be very useful. I don't think I've ever actually... Yeah, I usually end up forgetting about that one. Then she is a flying transporter, which means she does have access to the move and attack ability. Looking at her dial, we open up with some charge, which gives way to some sidestep. On attack, we got Blaze Claw's Fangs. On defense, we open up with the special power Barrel Roll or Wing Over. Give Swift a free action and choose combat reflexes or energy deflection. She can use the chosen power until she chooses again. Next up, she's got Barrel Roll or Wing Over, clicks into combat reflexes. Then on damage, we open up with Empower, which then gives way to Close Combat Expert. Alright, next up we've got Midnighter. Midnighter here comes in at 125 points. He's got the Authority, Stormwatch, Martial Artist, and Soldier keywords, as well as Improved Movement, Ignores, Hindering Current. He also has two traits. First off is I Know What You'll Do. When an opposing character uses Close Combat Expert, they can only use it to modify one value by +1. So you can't split it up, one into attack, one to damage, or put the full +2 in attack or damage. It's just +1 to one or the other. Next up is we fought this fight in my head already. When Midnighter targets an opposing character with a close combat attack, Until your next turn, modify that character's defense value by -1 and ignore any other modifiers to that character's defense value. Now, that doesn't cover things like using the JSA team ability, which replaces it, but it does cover things like combat reflexes, inertial deflection, so on and so forth. Anyway, looking at Dial, we start off with the special speed power, Cybernetic Implants. Midnighter can use Charge, Flurry, and Toughness. When Midnighter doesn't have 2 action tokens, he can use Stealth. This thing gives way to Flurry. Then on attack, we open up with nothing, but that gives way to Precision Strike. On defense, he's got Indomitable. Starts off with Super Senses, which gives way to combat reflexes. And then on damage, we open up with Exploit Weakness, which then gives way to the special damage power, Go for the Soft Spots. Midnighter can use Exploit Weakness and Outwit. If he uses Outwit to target an adjacent character, Midnighter can use Plasticity and can't be ignored for movement purposes. Oof. That's harsh. Finally, on the Authority theme, we've got Jenny Sparks. Jenny here also comes in at 125 points. She's got the Authority, Past, and Scientist keywords, as well as the trait Electrical Cortex Short Circuit. When Jenny Sparks hits an opposing character, that character can't use special powers from now until your next turn. Looking at her dial, she opens up with some running shot, which gives her a phasing teleport. On attack, we open up with Pulse Wave, which gives way to the special attack power Massive Electrical Arc. Jenny Sparks can use Penetrating Psychic Blast, improved targeting ignores characters, and has 3 targets. When she uses Penetrating Psychic Blast, increase the damage dealt to each character by the number of characters adjacent to it. That's just mean. I kind of love it. This then clicks into. She then clicks into this just regular Penetrating Psychic Blast. On defense, we open up with some Super Senses, which gives way to Willpower, which then gives way to Regeneration. And on damage, we open up with a special power. If you die, I'll just dig you up and put you to work again. Jenny Sparks can use Leadership. When she does, and the result is 6, remove all action tokens from all adjacent friendly characters with the Authority keyword. Ooh, that could be devastating. This then gives way to Perplex. Now, there is one other thing to bring up with this team, is we are 5 points shy, almost exactly. This team will also be utilizing a piece of special terrain. The WWE Ring, which has actually elastic ropes. How cool is that? So, the WWE Ring costs 5 points. Then the following, if I'm able to place on the map, the following things go into effect. Ropes exist along the edge of the ring. When you knock a character back into the ropes, you may choose that their knockback path continues in the opposite direction back along that same path. Like mentioned before, bounce. Once per turn, you may re-roll the close attack of a friendly character in the ring. Once per turn, you may re-roll the range attack of an opposing character outside the ring that's targeting a friendly character inside the ring. And finally, if you can't place the ring, you get the following as consolation. At the beginning of the game, choose a friendly character. Once per game, you may re-roll that character's attack, and once per game, you may re-roll an attack targeting that character. Okay. And finally, we got ourselves a martial artist team, consisting of Raphael, who comes in at 50 points, has the TMNT ally, animal, and martial artist keywords, as well as the trait Fighting Through the Swarms. When Raphael hits an opposing character after action is resolved, you may place him in any square adjacent to that character. Looking at his dial, we start off with some charge, which gives me a leap climb. On attack, Whoopsie. Wrong Raphael. Right Raphael. Yeah. On attack, he starts off with a special power, Psi. Raphael can use Flurry. He deals penetrating damage when making close attack. On defense, he starts off with Toughness, which gives way to combat reflexes. On damage, he opens up with nothing, but he clicks into Battle Fury and then Close Combat Expert. Next up, we've got Michelangelo. Mikey here comes in at 50 points as well. He's got the TMNT ally, as well as animal martial artist keywords and the trait Fighting Through the Swarms, just like Raphael. We got, again, just like Raphael, if he clicks a charge, some leap climb. Then, unlike Raphael, the special attack power Nunchakus, Michelangelo can use Flurry. Each time he hits an opposing character, after action resolve, you may give that character an action token. Then we got Toughness and Combat Reflexes, and on damage we start off with Empower, which then gives way to Close Combat Expert. Next up is Donatello. Donatello comes in at 50 points. He's got the TMNT ally, animal, martial artist, and scientist keywords, as well as the trait Fighting Through the Swarms, just like Raphael and Michelangelo. Then we got Charge, Leap Climb, Bow Staff, which all damage dealt by Donatello causes knockback, and he has Giant Reach of 2. We got Toughness, Combat Reflexes. We open up on damage with Outwit, which then gives way to Close Combat Expert. Next is Leonardo. Leo comes in at 50 points. He's got the TMNT ally, animal and martial artist keywords, as well as the Fighting Through the Swarms trait, just like his brothers. Charge, Leap Climb, Katana as on attack. Leo can use Blaze Claw's Fangs. If he missed the close attack this turn, he can use Sidestep. Then Toughness, Combat Reflexes, Leadership on damage, and Close Combat Expert. Next up, we've got Orphan. Orphan comes in at 75 points, has the Batman Ally team ability, as well as the Batman family, Gotham City, League of Assassins, Assassin, Martial Artist keywords, improved movement, ignores elevated terrain and hindering terrain, and the trait A Blade Forged in the Flames of Hatred, Honed in Darkness. Modify attack and defense +1 for each adjacent opposing character. That's good. Looking at her dial, we get a few clicks of Charge, followed by a few clicks of Flurry. A few clicks of the special attack power, Conflict is her element, which grants her Quake and Precision Strike, but Precision Strike can only may be used with any number of targets. That gives way to Blaze Claw's Fangs. On defense, she's got Indomitable. Then we get a few clicks of Super Senses, followed by a few clicks of Combat Reflexes. On damage, we open up with a few clicks of Empower, followed by a few clicks of Battle Fury. Not too shabby. Next up, we've got Nightwing. Comes in at 100 points. He's got the Batman Ally team ability, Batman family, Batman Incorporated, Bloodhaven, Detective, Martial Arts, Police keywords, improved movement, elevated hindering. Once per game, you can give them a free action to make a Tony Zuko bystander token in an adjacent square. Zuko has Toughness as well as the special power Atonement, which grants him Perplex and Support. On speed, we got the special power Flying Grayson, with giving Nightwing Charge and Flurry and allowing him to target opposing characters with close combat attacks regardless of elevation. That gives it a regular charge. Then on attack, we open up with with Incapacitate. It's listed as a Screaming on the card, but it's Incapacitate. That gives way to Smoke Cloud. Then he's Indomitable. And defensively, we start off with special power Second City Saint, which allows him to use combat reflexes and defend. When Nightwing is a target of a ranged combat attack, he can use Super Senses. This thing gives way to combat reflexes, which then gives way to regeneration. Then on damage, we start off with nothing, but he clicks into Outwit, which then gives way to Close Combat Expert. Next up, we've got Batman. Batman comes in at 120 points, has the Batman ally as well as Outsiders team abilities, as well as the Batman family. Gotham City Outsiders, Detective, and Martial Artist keywords. Improved movement ignores elevated and hindering terrain. And the trait, my team to handle but the league won't. Once per turn, when a friendly character within 6 squares uses the Outsider's team ability, that character can immediately use Outwit, but only to target the opposing character targeted for the Outsider's team ability. Okay. Next up, we've got, starting the dial off, we open up with a few clicks of Running Shot, followed by a few clicks of Charge. A full dial of the special power, Analytical Mind, and Utility Belt. Give Batman a free action, choose one. Energy Explosion, Force Blast, Incapacitate, Precision Strike, or Willpower. Batman can use the chosen power until he chooses again. Okay. On defense, we've got a few clicks of Toughness, followed by a few clicks of Combat Reflexes. And then on damage, we open up with a couple clicks of Leadership, and that is it. Anyway, that's it for this week's installment of Building a Team. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long, rock hard, and Happy New Year.